What's up everyone? Karibu tena kwa ukweli kwa ground. Na leo niko na mgeni daktari mwenyewe hapa, Dr. Githinji.
Yes.
Karibu to the set.
Thanks man.
Mazee, nataka tuongeleshe the family kidogo, tell them about your experience and things like that. Alright?
Okay.
So first question itakuwa hii ni just for the candidates wenye wanataka kufanya medicine this coming year. What are your qualifications from high school?
Thank you so much for hosting me on your channel.
Sure.
Naitwa Mike, but professionally also naitwa Dr. Githinji. Yes, I just finished my internship. So on the qualifications of a medical officer, first I want to say the medical field is so wide. You can choose to be a medical officer, you can choose to be a dental officer. There's so many things of which you can do right now. So broaden your base. Just decide where you want to go. But if you want to be a medical officer, right now it's quite easy. Kitambo, it used to be only like 2 schools, Moi and Nairobi, who were training medical officers in the country. But currently we have about 10 schools who are training doctors in the country. Now it's a good thing. At least we need to normalize that the ratio, because the ratio in Ikosai seems very sana. But if you want to do medicine, you definitely have to have done your sciences in high school. That is your biology, your chemistry, physics. I think physics here they also look at it. Yeah. So there are 2 ways in which you can go into medicine. You can go into parallel program, or you can go government self-sponsored. Okay. So for the government self-sponsored, it's limited to students who have scored A's, because it ends straight A's.
Okay.
Yeah. Most of the time they take people who have a mean grade of A or any mean grade of A. So yeah, so you need to focus on your studies, get it right, and then come tenure choose the university where you want to go. You can also do parallel. So for parallel, these are by you pay school fees for yourself. For the government sponsored, I think for the time I was back in school, you guys were paying up to 30K a year. 40,000 a year.
That's parallel.
No, that's government sponsored.
Government sponsored.
Now if you're parallel, you used to pay almost $500,000.
$500,000?
Yes. So there's quite a discrepancy, because medicine it's expensive to hire the lecturers to train you, to get the hospitals to acquire the licenses and all. It's quite expensive.
So, question, what parallel? You need a mean grade of A.
For most of the time, for parallel, they're usually a bit lenient, kidogo. But in your sciences, one of the languages is Kiswahili or English. Mathematics, you need strong bases in those languages. So most of the time they take people with A's. But you see, medicine, it's not all about it scoring A's in everything. So for parallel, maybe you could have scored an A-. I know people who have gotten B+. Perhaps maybe they were failed by one subject. So it's not a team kianguka and evil. Yes, you can still apply if you haven't checked the current guidelines. But during my time, they used to check your sciences, chemistry, biology, physics, mathematics, one of the languages, and I think the other subjects is you need to have scored maybe an A or a minimum of A-. So that at least even if you're getting into the program, you're someone who they're sure you can be able to make it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just like these other degrees, you can start from a certificate to diploma to degree and continue leveling up. For medicine, is there something like that? Like, is there for someone who didn't actually get those grades, but they're really passionate about it? Is there a way for them to level up to a point where they actually become that medical officer and a surgeon?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah, it's possible. So right now we have for entry into any medical university, you can either come straight from high school, or you could have taken the alternative routes. I know of nurses, clinical officers, anyone with a medical background, that in terms of certificates or previous diplomas or degrees, can actually enter medicine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but the difference with other courses is, I think for some courses, I'm not sure which, but I heard for them, you could be able to enter into the second year of study and continue.
Yeah, there's some exemptions.
But for medicine, it's not.
You can't be
that's not
exempted
the issue.
to do
You still have to go through the 6 years of training. Because for MBCHB, that is that's basically our course. It's practically it's a bit more intense compared to the other courses. So that's why you need to go through the 6 years to ensure quality. Yeah, so that by the time you finish it, you're up to the standards.
Yeah. All right. When you spoke about the 10 schools, are they all public schools, or kuna private schools are also offering medical courses?
I think they're private school. They are public schools, but I think back in school I left. You say you wanted to start a medical school. I'm not sure how that went, but the ones I know they are only public schools.
Only public schools.
Yeah.
All right. And is the government?
There's MKU. MKU is a private institution.
Yes,
it does medicine.
So is the government working on trying to make it easier for parent students, because that's really expensive for anyone who wants to do medicine, but not via government sponsored routes?
I think the government tries, but at the end of the day, medicine is expensive. Like for me, before I started my journey, I wanted to study abroad. I calculated the fees. It came to around four times what I would pay in Kenya
as a parent student.
So it's quite costly. So I would say.
And why is that, to be honest?
The fees.
As is it something we've done for ourselves, or it's something that we can work on making it cheaper? Is it something set in stone, as in there's no way it can be cheaper? Or maybe something that can be progressed to pole if we just plan vizuri, some guys wakubali, take it easy, pole, it can be possible.
I think it can. I mean, there's nothing cast on stone. So, but I leave that to the people who develop the curriculums and everything. Because I think currently in JCOT, people just pay, I think it's close to around 150 per semester. It's a tri-semester, and that fee is usually constant, like from first year to sixth year. Yeah, so you wouldn't say at clinicals are a bit more expensive, that's why we're charging this much. Pre-clinicals it is, so we can get to charge a little bit fairer. But if you think about it, you see, you need to pay the lecturers. You need to secure hospitals, you need to training, you need to get the equipment. You need to invest in medicine, because it's a changing world.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that's why even right now we have to do the things called the CPDs. CPDs are curriculum development points.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me to renew my license, I need to have gained. I think for our case usually like around 50 points. So that means that each Zoom meeting you attend, each CMEs are continuous medical educations, is a point. You gain more points. So you wouldn't graduate and keep off your books.
So
it's a never changing.
You're always you're always doing something, you're always learning.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So how was your experience as a medical student? How was that experience? It was 6 years.
Looking back, it was fun.
Yeah.
Looking back.
Yeah, looking back.
It was fun, but at the moment, during that time, things were hard.
Yeah.
So as I said, we studied in JCOT. JCOT is in Juja, the main campus. So you basically know university life. I think the hardest part wasn't even about the studies. I think the hardest part was about your own personal discipline. Because there are a lot of temptations. There are a lot of things you can do in university. You can go clubbing. You can choose to do whatever people are doing nowadays, like online writing, online jobs. There are a lot of things which could distract you. And being there as a medical student doesn't exempt you from other temptations which students face. Yeah. So I think practically, even during the time, I think the hardest part was also the social life, because you find that you spend too much time studying, and then the course is 6 years, but for us we went for around, I think 6.5, almost close to 7 years, because of the lecturer strike which happened. There was a doctor strike which happened in 4th year, 5th year. So you find that
the lecturers are also same doctors.
Yes. So you find that the people who you entered university with, once you reach third year, most of them are finishing.
Oh yeah, especially the ones in private schools.
No, like people from other courses.
Okay.
Yes. So you find that by the time you're reaching 5th year, 4th year, you completely new faces in the university, which is still there. So for some people, you would argue that life is moving on slowly for you. But it was a nice experience all in all.
So when doctors strike, does that also affect the private schools?
Yes.
It does.
Yes. It's a universal strike.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand. All right. So you did enjoy your university life.
What's the question?
You did enjoy your university life.
For me, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Will
you go back for masters?
For masters? Yes, but currently I want to stay out maybe for like 2-3 years and at least get a feeling of what's on the ground.
And
plus it's advisable. Plus I think during undergrad and during internship, I got so much focused into getting into obstetrics and gynecology. That's a department that deals with women and reproductive health, basically. For you to get into those programs, you need to have stayed 2 years outside.
You practice for 2 years, so you can.
But you can go to the university like Aga Khan University, which offer like a direct route. But for me, I think I would love to take my time. Because life, at the same time, life is not all about studies.
Okay. So once you graduate from the 6 years of medicine, what's next? Do you start working immediately, or is there a compulsory internship you need to take?
Yes, there is. So you do your 6 years of undergrad. The different universities have different curriculums. So there's some which you start your clinicals in that year. For GECOT, you started our clinicals in 4th year.
Okay.
4th year, 5th year is about community and public health. Then 6th year, you do your senior clerkship. Then you have to undergo a mandatory 1 year internship in a recognized facility. So for me, I came to Nyeri Provincial General Hospital. That's where I completed my 1 year of internship.
Okay.
So after that, that's when you get your license, and then you now can be able to look for any other place.
Okay.
But your internship license restricts you to one region, to one hospital.
Or to one hospital.
So if you want to change your internship center, you have to go back to the board again for your license to be reallocated to the hospital you want to go to. Yes.
And does that make you start from the beginning again?
No. You can transfer credit.
You can transfer credit. Okay. My other question was, when you talk about what do you call them? You need institutions, recognized institutions. Does that mean public hospitals or also private hospitals?
Both. I have friends who have gone to Mata, Aga Khan.
Okay, so you can go for an internship in a private hospital.
Yes.
You don't really need to go to a government hospital. Okay. And how was your internship experience?
Our internship was awesome. So after the 6 years, you're finally acknowledged as a doctor. So it's a joy. It's a prestigious name. So Nyeri is a very busy center. So I would say it was quite tasking, especially the busy departments, that is obs, speeds. Those were very busy departments. But the exposure was quite good. I would say I've learned a lot, and I'm looking to apply what I've learned to my practice in general.
So any challenges faced during your internship?
Quite a lot. I think for interns, the number one thing is the Minister of Health takes months to pay you. For us, we took like about 5 months for them to pay you. So I was lucky enough for my parents to have supported me
during that period.
But you see, if in other cases where you find people who are not maybe from privileged backgrounds, you'd find it so hard for someone to travel to a new region, start life basically, and basically survive through that period without being paid.
and I bet it's a tasky job, yeah? Like
Yeah, it is.
crazy
It is.
hours,
Mm.
you know,
Yeah.
you're always tired and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Which other challenge would you say?
For the challenges,
Uh,
yeah, apart from the pay, I wouldn't want to complain about work because I think from the start you usually know what it's about.
Yeah.
Internship is hard because you're basically the primary doctor each and every time. You're the first on call. So I was lucky enough, I think, throughout my rotation, I think ile time tulikuwa wadogo kabisa, I think we only 2 interns per department.
Okay.
So that means you're doing 36-hour calls.
36
So if your call starts on Monday morning, it ends on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Tuesday, maybe the time you agreed with your colleague. So for us, it's just to do at 6 p.m. So the other colleagues takes over until the following day, maybe. So you find that if you're 2, you're doing 36 hours. If you're more, you find that you have maybe like 2 days to rest before you're on call again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think that's basic. I think no one gets into medicine thinking it's a really bad. Yeah. So apart from the pay, I think the challenges that just come out with life. Yeah, because I think most of my colleagues and especially me, I think those the 6 years your mind is so concentrated on, school. So you come out here, life is different. Yeah, so you have to figure out who you are.
Yeah.
Besides being the doctor that you wanted being all along, you need to figure out who you are and just basically start life.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what would you say about the work-life balance?
That depends on the center you're in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people work-life balance. Yeah, it depends on the center you are in. In some centers you find it so busy. For others you find it's a bit more relaxed. Yeah.
So during your internship, I'm sure you guys rotated kwa kila department, right? And number one, which was your favorite department, if there was any? Just a number of your favorite departments.
I think my favorite was Obscane. Obscane was it was the busiest and the favorite. All along I've had this passion for reproductive health. My mom has been in the field for the last 36 years.
Okay, so it runs the family, yeah?
Yeah, so I think Obs was my favorite. It was quite busy though, but I think the adrenaline rush was quite good.
Alright, so which one was the most exhausting? Like
Exhausting,
psychologically exhausting?
Definitely, still Obs.
Still Obs, yeah? Alright, it's the busiest.
It's the busiest. I used to do a lot of surgeries. PGH used to do daily ward rounds. So you used to have the ANC, then the postnatal wards, which are like 9 wards. With like approximately like 10 patients per ward. And then they're like 9. So you have to check on the mother, you have to check on the baby. From that you finish your rounds there, you have to go to the gyne ward. The gyne ward used to have, I think, like around 21 beds. So you do your ward rounds there. Then you finish. Someone has to go to clinic, someone has to go to theatre. The gyne theatre, that is on Monday, Thursday. There's someone who's supposed to be on the ground, someone who's supposed to be at theatre, just in case of any emergency cesarean section, some of the elective cases. Yeah, so it was quite busy and exhausting. I think that's the time we knew each other.
Oh yeah?
The time she just used to see me coming
into the house. Zombie mode.
Yeah. So I think it was go to the hospital, do your thing. If you're on call that day, okay. If you finish, go eat, come to the house, sleep. Wake up the following day. So for PGH, you rotated for 10 weeks. So that used to be my life for like the 10 weeks.
And did you ever fall asleep like when you're doing your things? Because I'm imagining 36 hours not sleeping and you need to go for a surgery. That's...
no. There was only one instance. There was only one instance in, I think back when I was in surgery. Yeah, I think the time I almost fell. I hadn't eaten that morning. I think we had back-to-back cases that night. Then the following day there was major theatre day. So you still have to scrub. I think that's the only instance whereby I was close to fainting, but I know people who have fainted.
So people do faint.
People faint.
And is it what do you say this? Is it is it not risky? Like in terms of when someone is really tired, because I'm thinking, hata a driver is told, afadhali ulale kwa barabara, just park your car hapo kando ya barabara, you sleep, then continue with your journey. Because I'm thinking now, you're doing surgery on someone, yeah? There's a life or death situation.
Yeah.
Right? I love.
But you see, as an intern,
you're sleepy.
You're not the primary surgeon. Most of the time, you're not the primary surgeon.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
But when you go to maternity, most of the time you find you're the primary surgeon.
Right.
There's a difference. Sometimes if you feel too tired, if you feel like you're not able to do it, you can always request.
Or you can
tell your supervisor, hey, I'm not feeling this, I'm not feeling good. You need to tell, like, I need to go eat, I need to eat. But you see, I think it's a culture that's ingrained into us, because even if you ask our parents, they'll tell you about the struggles they went through to go to school. They tell you how they used to fight animals in the morning.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so I think it's the same culture. You just have to hustle through it. Yeah. Plus, no one wants to be seen as okay. Who determines that weak? But no one wants to.
As the guy who went home that day. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. But in case whereby you're the primary surgeon, most of the time you need to be okay to do the surgery.
Makes sense. And okay, when you look at all the departments, which one do you think requires the most attention? Like in terms of it lacks resources. You know, like the government needs to pay more attention to it. Because I'm thinking, for example, the way people say, I've heard people talk about mental health in Africa. So they're like African institutions, the government, and all that. Like they need to pay more attention to mental health. Like
they do
more knowledge, learn more, all that, right? So now back to that question, like which department do you think?
I think it's just the one you said.
Mental health.
Psychiatry. The government is doing a lot so far, but there is so much room for improvement. There's so much room for improvement. Especially like for where I trained in Nyeri, we had a lot of psychiatric cases. I think Nyeri is kind of known for that. I think you've seen memes of people saying about the three mental institutions in one place in Nyeri compared to other places whereby they only have one place. And I think the same translated during our internship. For us, we had a psychiatric ward. Most of my friends in other hospitals, they did have a psychiatric ward. So my psychiatry rotation was quite different with other people.
What is psychiatric ward?
Psychiatry is basically
psychiatric ward.
Yeah, psychiatric ward.
Oh, you see a psychiatric ward.
No.
Okay, psychiatric ward. Makes sense.
So the government can, but if you look at the field, mental health in general, a lot of people don't take it with the weight which it carries.
I think because they lack knowledge.
And then people, medicine is always advancing. People, in our culture, people used to say, "Ujama merogwa." But if you look back, there's people who are suffering from mental illness. Like syphilis can cause you to get a mental illness. So if you find those people who are neglected in our society, most of them, you know what they go do. They're not secured. The people who get raped on the streets and everything. So even if you contract one of those diseases and you're not able to access medical help,
it progresses to a mental issue.
Plus the challenges of life. Because back in psychiatry, we usually say health is not all about your body. It's about your mind. Mind. Of course, your body. You have to also look at your finances, because they all play a part in your mental health. Yes.
True. So what advice would you give the government when it comes to that? Like what should they do? Do they start extra courses in schools, or do they
definitely?
What do they do?
Definitely, you need to train more physicians in mental health. Not necessarily doctors. You can have counselors, people to talk to people in the society. You need to look after the people your community. Basically, your community. You need to look at the people, because by the time someone reaches a mental break, there are probably some symptoms they've shown before. So definitely the government needs to employ more people, needs to build more psychiatric hospitals. I don't know if you saw in the news. They're talking about renovating Mathari, the National Hospital.
Oh, Mathari.
Yeah, Mathari. Mathari. That hospital is it's quite congested. It's quite congested.
Yeah, because everyone is taking
and then everyone is referring to that facility. So you need to diversify, build many hospitals that deal with mental health, and basically go into the community. Because if you tackle issues of the community, definitely you'll see less cases in the hospital.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Definitely. Another question would be.
So psychiatry was actually my second favorite.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And why is that?
Us?
Just dealing with people.
No. They're not even dealing with people. It was actually quite free. So it's quite free compared to how busy the other departments are. Yeah. So at least that time you got some time to go back and see your family, do some other things here and there. Yeah. So it was quite nice.
Alright. That's interesting. That's interesting. So, if you were to get the opportunity to become one of these big guys in the medical field, someone who can actually make a difference in Kenya's way of doing things medically, what would you do to just what would be your first step? Which step would you take as a first step in making Kenya's health system more efficient?
I would take back health to the national government.
Alright.
I don't think devolution is helping with health. Personally, I don't think it's helping. Plus, you can also one of the challenges I'm facing at the moment is securing a job. Go back 10 years before we had the devolution when everything was in place. The moment you've qualified, you start your security, you're employed by the government, and that's it. You're not taken out of the system.
Oh, okay.
So you go work, finish your internship, be posted.
Somewhere, like there was always a place.
You could be taken to Marsabit. Like people used to be sent to more places.
Dingy places.
Yes. So now you find with devolution, things have changed. Once you finish internship, you're on your own. There are actually a lot of unemployed doctors.
What?
And guess where those doctors are?
Yeah.
They're going back to Nairobi, like the big cities.
Yeah,
so you find that you find that the ratio of doctors in the rural communities and in the not so many populated areas, it's quite low. So for you to, I think one thing I would change is take back health to the national government.
Devolution was kind of a mistake because hakuna ile communication, between all.
But if you see, for the teachers, they fought for their rights. The TSC was not devolutionized.
Oh, okay.
Teachers are still under the national government, and that's why you never hear of a school maybe somewhere it's lacking teachers because they are not teachers to be employed. Maybe it's maybe it could be an area, an issue of people have been sent there but they don't want to go. But not that they are teachers, and they are not teachers in that place. Yet there are so many teachers on ground.
I understand what you're saying. So, and so one of the other problems will be lack of enough staff members.
Definitely.
Because I'm thinking if most of them are unemployed and you already have the health issues that you have currently, definitely a low number of employees in the hospital, right?
If you look at the WHO recommendations and what we have in Kenya, you see the same thing as policemen. I'm not sure the ratio, I don't want to quote anything I don't know. But there's usually a certain ratio. Like one policeman or one doctor is supposed to service a number of people. So if you look at that ratio right now, in Kenya it's not. It's not good.
No one pays attention to that ratio anymore.
So you find that the doctors who are there, they've been overworked. Most of the time you find that they've been overworked. But actually think of it, as long as you have interns to serve you, ensure that the hospitals are running, I don't think these people
will never pay attention to.
Yes, there's actually a deficit because if you go to these major hospitals, remove the students who are training at that facility, remove the medical interns, remove the nurses, interns, the CO interns, everyone,
Yeah.
you'll actually see that the people who are employed in that hospital,
Yeah, charges.
they're not sufficient to run that facility.
Yeah, it will never run efficiently.
Yeah, it can never run efficiently. So we need to find a way to integrate all that, to have a way in which you can continue training medical personnel, actually ensure that the hospital have enough staff. Not just enough staff, you need to provide for them like the medical equipment,
like the resources they require.
pharmaceuticals.
Correct.
But we'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get there one day.
Oh, one day. And quick question, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think it would be better if such like this departments kind of it's like these ministries, health ministries, huge ministries, like health, security, and all that, Do you think it would be better if a professional in that field would be the one running it rather than just anyone?
Definitely.
Yeah, that would make a difference.
That would make a big difference.
Because I'm thinking, at least they know what to do next.
It's like me going to supervise a group of engineers. I wouldn't know what they go through.
Yeah, it's true.
The same, an engineer would. Okay, they do currently, but it's not appropriate.
It's not advisable. Okay. And have you heard of the Smole something? This technological city, medical technological city that's been built. Somewhere, I think it's in Western Kakamega.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that? Your thoughts on that?
It's a nice facility. I've not seen it physically, but through my online, I've been able to see what they've been able to accomplish. And if you just look at the founder's vision for what he has for that place, I think it's something that can intrigue everyone. Because it's a self-sustaining city. It's eco-friendly. Like come to some of the issues you need to tackle right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Then he aims to bring world-class care to such a small village. So that's actually quite good.